Hello everybody, this is RJ. This is Push Airlines. Welcome to the channel. Guys, if you don't know me, I have another channel called Push Aviation, which is my main channel where I upload a lot of prepared 3D videos. I'm also planning to upload some explain videos, so if you haven't seen it already, please do check it out. Once again, the channel's name is Push Aviation, and you can also visit on my website www.pushaviation.com for photographs, some free livery downloads and all of that good stuff. But I'm still in the process of building the website, but you guys can check it out and more than happy to. I mean, you guys should be feel free, please, to log on to my website anytime you like. But today's flight, I have accepted the load. If you haven't seen my previous video, do check it out. We flew some cargo from Sonoma County, California to Mathers Air Force Base in Sacramento. And I already have accepted another load which picks up in Sacramento Executive Airport in California, which is not too far from where the aircraft is situated right now, and flying back to Sonoma County. Um, Now, I didn't take a look at a couple of things when I was booking this load, which I should have done. Number one is we have 13 hours and 44 minutes to make a decision on this load. That's the good thing. The bad thing is our reputation is going to go down. And this is just our second load, and we don't want to get our reputation knocked down right away, at least at this early of an early stage. Um, the reason why I'm hesitating to do this load is simply because of the quantity. Um, the aircraft can only carry a maximum of 1,360 pounds or maybe 1,380 pounds at the most. 1,400 pounds is a little too much to carry, and I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a big problem to fly the airplane with that much weight. So, what I can do is I can either take a risk of pretty much flying with minimum amount of fuel on board and try to make it to Sonoma County, um, or and just keep the uh, keep this load. And in case if I'm unable to fit all the product, then I may have to ship it through ground transport or whatever it is and pay money for that, and I won't get paid completely for the load itself. So it's really a tricky thing to do at this point of time. So what I would like to do is I think I should think about canceling this load, but at the same time I also want to go ahead and take a look at if any other loads are available for us coming back from Mathers Air Force Base. Anywhere, going out anywhere really doesn't matter, but just some good loads. So let me take a look at it really quickly. So there's a load here from Mathers Air Force Base to the Sonoma County. The problem is it's $7,410, but the weight is a lot lesser. It's pretty much half the weight of what uh, we were going to carry previously. So that's actually pretty good. And we also have Marysville to Sonoma County. Marysville, the only thing is you'll have to fly a little bit of a uh, uh, we still have to fly a little bit of a flight, um, which is let me see. I don't know why it took that out, but anyway, we have to fly approximately about 30 miles, 30 to 40 nautical miles, just empty, and then pick up that load and fly back. But the weight of that is 1,154 pounds. It'll it'll fit just fine with the fuel that we have on board, but it's just the point that we still have to fly some extra miles. So I'm gonna choose one of these loads here, unless there's another one. Let me see if there's anything else. Yeah, guys, this would be the ultimate load. Just picking up from Mather, flying directly back to home. That would be the ultimate load to fly, $7,410. But this is a little tempting too, which is Monterey or Marysville. Um, you know what, guys? I'm just gonna choose this one here, accept job, and I'm gonna have to cancel the load that I had previously booked from Sacramento Executive Airport, which will cause some impact on my reputation. Now, if I go to my reputation, as you can see, my reputation dropped down a little bit. It was way up at 21% was a cargo reputation. It dropped down by half a point, and same here with the overall reputation. But I guess we all learn from our mistakes, so I'm going to be a little bit more cautious about the weight. But anyway, so I've decided to fly that one. So let's go ahead and fly this route, and I'm going to see you guys in just a minute while while the while Flight Simulator loads up. But we do have 410 10 pounds of fuel on board today. So we have a plenty of fuel. We don't need to purchase fuel or anything like that. But 741 fits. 741 pounds will just fit fine in Mather's Air Force Base. So direct flight from Mather's Air Force Base to um, Sonoma County. So we're going to be flying direct. So I'm going to talk about the rest of the flight while we are in the flight simulator. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. And today we got plenty of fuel on board. So the cargo has already been picked up. As you can see, we pretty much have full tank, so fuel is not going to be a problem at all. Let's open up our cowl flaps for the day. I'm going to go ahead and close the main door here. Alright, so that's locked. Alright. Avionics is in the off position. All light switches are off. Circuit breakers are all in. I'm going to start off with the left tank today. So cowl flaps is down. Propeller RPM is high. Mixture is cut off or lean. Throttle is on the idle position. And landing gear lever is in the down position. Parking brake is set. Alright, so it is okay for us to turn on the battery. So the battery comes on. Alternator can be turned on as well. Navigation lights and beacon lights can come on as well, since we're going to be starting the engine pretty soon. Auxiliary fuel pump comes on. Mixture to rich. And now we're looking at the fuel flow gauge right over there while we are advancing the throttle. Throttle to max shouldn't exceed 13 gallons per hour. We have 12.5, so throttle comes to idle, mixture cut off. Auxiliary fuel pump can come off and throttle open 1/4 of an inch for engine start. So at this point I'm gonna go ahead and shout prop clear. Clear prop! And I'm okay to start the engine. So while I'm starting, I'm gonna go ahead and advance the mixture as well. So there we have it. We have a good engine start. Now we got to manage our RPMs and things of that nature. So our RPM is 1100 RPM. So let's bring our throttle down so we can get to about 1000 RPM. That's pretty good. And now what we'll do is we'll try to lean our mixture so till we see a drop in the RPM. So I'm gonna start leaning it slowly, like I'm doing it right now. There's a drop in the RPM, so I'm going to increase the mixture just a little bit up, and we have about 50% mixture. So the mixture is leaned correctly in the right proportions, and at this point I can go ahead and also turn on the avionics master, and go ahead turn on the GPS units as well. Squawk code is 1200 as we are flying VFR today. And I'm going to be flying directly to Sonoma County, so we're all set for the departure. Run up. I'm going to do the run up right over here, since this is actually a pretty big parking lot, and since there's nobody here, I'm just gonna go ahead and do the run up right over here. Sometimes they definitely do the run up in this area facing west, but I'm facing south at this time. But I'm just gonna taxi over here and face west and go ahead and do the engine run up as well. So parking brakes released.
Charging battery.
Sorry about that, you guys. It just got disconnected. Anyway, I'm also setting up trying to get all the weather information ready here. 1 second, you guys. So I'm just gonna turn around here a little bit and face north. Or west, sorry. So that's facing west right there. So this is where they actually do the run-ups on aircrafts like the 757s, Embraer 145s, even some smaller aircrafts, general aviation type aircraft run-ups are all done over here, and there's few other spots in this specific parking lot, which one is right over here somewhere, where they actually do the run-up even in real world. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the run up over here and take it from there. So just a little bit about the weather itself. Today's weather is going to be, let me get this here. Alright, so as far as the weather in Mather is concerned, 15th is the date today. 1245 Zulu, wind 190 at 4 knots, visibility 10 miles, few clouds at 25,000 feet, temperature 12, dew point 10, altimeter 29068. So let me go ahead and set the altimeter here. 29068 is the altimeter setting. Alright, so the airport elevation is within limits. Airport elevation is about 96 feet. So we are 75 feet within the airport elevation, so that's pretty good. And as far as the weather in Sonoma County is concerned, at the time of arrival, we are expecting winds to be calm, 7 miles visibility, clear clouds, 11 is the temperature, dew point is 9er, altimeter 29071. So not much of a difference as far as weather is concerned. We do have a little bit of a low pressure system going on around and can expect some bumps while we fly en route, but shouldn't be too bad for us today. Hold on, you guys. I hit the wrong button. So close. That's good. So let's go ahead and do the run-up. Airspeed indicating 0, miniature plane is level and direct, altimeter set to 8 is 75 feet within field elevation, vertical speed is 0, magnetic or HSI is set to runway heading, which is 220. We're going to take runway 22 right, the shorter runway, and our magnetic or our heading bug is set to the magnetic heading of the runway. And turn coordinator, the ball at center, miniature plane level under X, suction gauge is in green, and magnetic compass and turn coordinator. I'm going to monitor them while I make some maneuvers while taxiing out as well to make sure everything is working correctly. Now, as far as engine instruments are concerned, fuel flow is good, cylinder head temperature and exhaust gas temperature is good, oil temperature, oil pressure is good as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a engine run up, and to do that, first thing I'll do is set the mixture to high, and I'm gonna set the RPM to 1800 RPM, and I'm holding the brakes. Oops, that's a little too much. There we go, that's 1800 RPM there. And now what I will do is I'm going to keep my eye on this RPM gauge, and I'm going to turn the ignition switch to the magnetos. So starting with right, so there's about 30 RPM drop, which is very, very good. Both. And now left. Now again, there's about 25-30 RPM drop, which is very low. In real aircraft, it go as high as about 75 to 100, but it shouldn't exceed 125. But anyway, so it's good so far. So let's bring our prop RPM to idle, or propeller pitch to high, and you can see that the RPM reduces. And let's bring the propeller pitch to low, or high RPM, so the angle of attack of the propeller becomes less. Now let's bring it back again, and let's take it forward, and we'll do it one more time and we should be done. This is the last time. There we go. And by doing this, we're just heating up the oil in the governor. That's all. So at this point, we can get the throttle to idle. We can set the parking brakes as well. And I'm gonna lean the mixture again once the RPM settles down here.
Charge complete.
All right, there's the RPM settling down. So I'm gonna look for RPM drop. There it is. I'm gonna advance the mixture just a little bit, and that's pretty good. And what we'll do is we'll do a flight control test at this point of time. So left aileron, right aileron, elevator up, elevator down, rudder left, or rudder right, and rudder left. So flight controls are free and correct. So guys, we are pretty good so far. So let's go ahead and taxi out. While taxiing out, I'm going to monitor the magnetic compass and also the turn coordinator to make sure that they are functioning correctly. So I'm going to release parking brakes. I'm ready to taxi. So we're taxiing to runway 22, you guys. And to go to 22, what we'll do is, let me get this here. I'm going to take Echo, which is up ahead of us, and take Alpha all the way to runway 22 left, or 22 right. And we can go ahead and turn on the taxi lights also at this point in time. It shouldn't be a problem doing that. So this is Alpha here. guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close this little window here for departure. I'm also gonna go ahead and mute the marker beacons. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do a straight out departure, and once we reach 800 feet, or actually 700 feet, I'll go ahead and turn the autopilot on and continue my climb. Till 700 feet, I'm going to maintain, and I'll try to maintain an airspeed of 100 knots and nothing more. But above 700 feet, we'll go by autopilot and climb at around 700 feet per minute, and that should get us a good climb rate as well while we maintain the airspeed. And we're going to be cruising today at 6,500 feet. Once again, guys, because of the low pressure system, we can expect a little bit of turbulence en route, and expect a little bit of lesser visibility, especially when we go for arrival. But we still fall within the VFR minimums, so we are not too worried. I'm not too worried about it. Guys, this is a big airport. It's going to be a little bit of a taxi, but what I can tell you is Boeing actually flies, does some of their testing here in this airport as well. They test like brake testing and stuff like that are tested here in Mathers Air Force Base in Sacramento. So it's a big airport facility. It's really in a place where there's it's outside the city kind of deal, so it's really nice to fly into this airport. I wish they made a scenery for this one, but unfortunately this is not a popular airport. So in fact, EVA Airlines, which is based out of Taiwan, has a training facility here in this airport, and they train the pilots who fly the 777s, 747s over here in that facility on smaller aircrafts. They're getting their initial commercial license done on both single and multi-engine airplanes. So it is a very well maintained facility, a good airport. It is controlled only during certain times, and then it becomes uncontrolled. I do not have that information just yet. Maybe I can give it to you on if I visit here next time, but really, but that's about it. But anyway, we're coming to the end of the runway approximately, and we're taxiing at 9 knots ground speed. So I'm gonna take the next right. Now the one coming up. But There should have been another taxiway. It's kind of weird. Um, there should be another taxiway which is missing. Uh, well, in that case, I'm just gonna take runway 22 left. That's it. That's fine. So, guys, I'm gonna take runway 22 left. Because it is missing a taxiway. It showed only Alpha. There's one taxiway Bravo in there as well. But anyway. I'm gonna take off from runway 22 right, so no big deal. Alrighty, guys. So I'm gonna assume that I've got the clearance for departure now. So what I will do is set the transponder to altitude, timer comes on, taxi lights off, landing lights on, strobe lights off, or strobe lights on, cull flaps down, mixture is rich, and we are ready to go. So we'll do a straight out departure, and then about 700 feet I'll go ahead and engage the autopilot. Alrighty, guys, so I'm gonna slowly advance the throttle while I progress. Use my left rudder a little bit so I can align to the center of the runway. There we go. Airspeed alive. 60 knots. 70. 75. Rotate. We have positive rate of climb, gear up. And I'm gonna try and hold that 100 knots as much as I can. Alright, there we have 700 feet. Yaw damper on, autopilot comes on, heading mode on, altitude select, and I'm gonna climb up to 6,500 feet. And I'm also gonna go ahead and turn off the landing lights at this time and continue my climb. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring down the propeller RPM to 2500 RPM, and I'm also gonna bring down the manifold pressure to 25 inches of mercury, and that'll give us a good climb rate and a decent airspeed also. Alright guys, so at this point I'm gonna start my turn to the right. To a heading of 260, and that is Sacramento Executive Airport. And we want to maintain this heading till we see Highway 80. And you can see downtown Sacramento there. And you know, if we get visual on Davis Airport, that's even better, but we're gonna maintain this heading. Once we get to 3,000 feet, guys, we can go ahead and start cutting down on the mixture. So lean it up a little bit to get a good fuel-air mixture ratio in the engine, into the cylinders. Alright guys, so there is Highway 80 right down our wings right there, and that is McCollin Air Force Base. So we have Highway 80 in the sight. So now we're gonna just make sure that the Highway 80 is on our left hand side and start the turn to the left. We're gonna fly a heading of approximately 250 or 2. No, I will fly a heading of probably 240. I still can see Highway 80 right here. And this is I-5, Interstate 5. Alright, so I'm gonna start cutting down mixture a little bit. And bring it down to about 13 gallons an hour. There we go. That's pretty good. Interstate 80 is still to our right. Sacramento International Airport, as you can see. Another key landmark that I'm looking for is Davis University Airport, which is going to be up ahead of us. And we know, we're gonna kind of have to put it on our left-hand side of our flight. $500 to go. As you can see, this is Highway 80 right here. And that's Davis Airport right there. Alright guys, so that's Davis Airport right over here. So it is to our left hand side, so that's pretty good. I'm going to continue with this heading for a little bit more distance. And this lake here is very important because that's a very big visual or a landmark for us. So you want to remain somewhere in the middle of the that lake right there. I think it's called Lake Berissa. Alright guys, 46 nautical miles to go. Should take us a good 16 minutes. Alright guys, this highway here is Highway 505. So that's good. And Vacaville Airport should be to our left. Somewhere in the distance, right? Somewhere around here. This one here, right here. Let me make sure that's an airport. Yeah, that's it. This is Vacaville right there. Guys, remember, there's an island in the middle of Lake Barissa, so we want the island to be on our right-hand side. So we want to verify that. Very important that we do that, maintain that. So once I get the visual on that island, I'm going to start turning left or right accordingly. And we can also go ahead and close the cowl flaps. I should have done that a while ago, but anyway. See the islands that are 12 o'clock? That should be on our left hand side, so I'm going to turn left a little bit to a heading of 250. And those clouds are too low. As VFR pilots, we cannot fly through the clouds. So my option is either to go up, climb, or descend, but I cannot descend because of the mountainous terrain. So I'm gonna go ahead and start climbing up a little bit. We have to be 500 above, or 1000 above, 500 below the cloud layer, so. Guys, we have 16 nautical or 16 minutes of flight time remaining. So we're well about 1,000 feet, as you can see, above the cloud layer. Airspeed is a little low, but that's fine. We got only 400 feet to go, so. Alright, you guys, so we got quarter of a tank, less than full on left tank, so I'm gonna switch the tank to right now. And you're supposed to turn on the fuel pump before you do it. Turn it off. "20 feet to go." Once we clear this cloud, guys, we can start our descent. As you can see, the clouds are gonna clear up a little bit, so we can start our descent down just a little bit more further down. "10 minutes and 26 nautical miles." Alright guys, it is okay to go ahead and start descending now, so I'm gonna go down to traffic pattern altitude, which is, actually I'm gonna leave it at 6,500 for now. At least till I clear those mountains there. We kind of need to be closer to this town as possible, so I'm gonna turn right back to a heading of 260. That should get us back in the path. Alright, you guys, I'm verifying that the airspeed does not exceed 165 knots, and we're descending through 7,100 feet to 6,500 feet. So at this point in time, I have the airport in sight, which is right over here. So I'm gonna reduce my airspeed or my altitude further down to my traffic pattern altitude, which is 1,100 feet. Actually, it's 1,200 feet, sorry. As you can see, our airspeed is going kind of in the yellow arc. So I'm going to reduce my throttle down to 1700 RPM and see if that's going to help out any bit. And it does. Remember guys, below 3,000 feet I got to have mixture rich. So I still have 3,100 feet to go. Alright you guys, so it looks like we're a little too high. Just so we needed to clear those clouds, so we got a little too high. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and bring the throttle down just above the gear warning limit. And what I'll do is I'll just do a hold here really quickly. I just want to proceed further a little bit more and then do a hold really quickly. And there's the low visibility. It's more like haze, or maybe low layer of fog or whatever. There's our airport. This is the runway I'm gonna land. I'm gonna land on runway 32, and altimeter is 2976. And we'll do a left traffic pattern onto runway 32. If I can keep the altitude restriction, but I think I should be able to. It looks like I should be able to. Alright, so we're crossing runway 32. So I'm going to go down a little bit more further and get established on the 45 and do a traffic pattern entry to the left base, left downwind. So I'm going to go a little bit more further down. I'm gonna go just a little bit into those mountains there. I'm gonna make a right loop turn. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna turn right and get back to a 45-degree angle to the runway. So that'll give me a little bit more time to descend faster. There's the airport runway. I'm gonna fly the south heading perfect. And what I will do now is turn left to face a 45-degree angle to the runway. So heading off 120 will be just fine. A little bit more to the left. Now if you look at it, I'm at a 45-degree angle to the runway and I can see the 1,000-foot marker right there. So what I will do is I'm going to use this as a 45-degree entry to the runway, and then I'm going to start my turn 90 degrees to the right. Oops, I just went a little too much, but I went a little too much, but that's fine. There we go, that's a lot better. Alright, I'm abeaming. Once I beam the 1,000-foot marker right there, what I'll do is, since I'm in the white arc, I'm gonna drop the gear and I'm gonna put 1 notch of flaps. Mixture is rich, propeller RPM is good, and now autopilot disengage, and I'm gonna try and maintain 90 knots as much as I can. We can go ahead and turn the landing light on, which is on. Oops, there it is. Now remember guys, I would like to come in high a little bit. In this way, if there is a situation where you need to make an emergency landing or something happens, you have plenty of time to make that correction. Runway is towards my left, so I'm gonna go ahead and start my turn to the left as a final approach. If you feel like you're a little too low, all you have to do is just play with the power a little bit to a point where you're able to, like in this case, I'm actually pretty good on the altitude as far as altitude is concerned. I just turned a little too soon, but that's fine. But as far as altitude is concerned, I'm pretty good. I just had to trim the aircraft well, that's all. There it is. And I'm going to put the final flaps on, and I'm going to start reducing the power. Now I'm looking for 80 knots on the airspeed. See guys, this is exactly how you want the runway to look. I'm aiming for the 1,000-foot markers. I'm high, I'm pretty good, airspeed is good. And come in steep and nice. You can bring the throttle back a little bit. You know you can make it to the runway now even with an engine failure.
100.
So, aiming for the 1,000-foot markers.
50, 40.
Keep that
30,
flare coming.
20.
Now cut the power to idle. 1,000-foot marker touchdown, and that's it. And let the aircraft roll. Flaps, leave the flaps the way it is. And we pretty much got to go all the way to the end of the taxiway because our parking is pretty much to the end. So I'm gonna exit at Alpha, which is the last exit there. So I'm also gonna go ahead, turn the taxi lights on, turn off the landing lights, strobe lights can come off. And I'm also gonna go ahead, turn off the altitude reporting and stop the timer. I'm gonna take the next left right there. And I'm gonna get my flaps up. There's Alpha, so I'm gonna exit this taxiway here. We're gonna taxi straight out. And I'm gonna park the aircraft on spot number 20, which is this white patch right here. Either this one or this one. Either one is 20. You can park it on any one. That should be good, you guys. So that's it. So I'm gonna set the parking brakes on. Taxi light comes off. We can turn the avionics to off. Flaps are up. Cowl flaps can come to the down position. And I'm gonna turn off the mixture to idle. Navigation lights off. Beacon is off. Ignition off. And battery goes to off. That's it. That's done, you guys. So let's go ahead and get the cargo unloaded here. Job has been completed successfully. We got $7,410. Finished flight monitoring, smooth landing, okay. And let's go take a look at the company information now. Info. Our company reputation went up again, 2150, and as you can see it right there. And the company overall reputation is 2050, which is okay, I guess. As far as the finance is concerned, now we have $260,000, and the addition of $7,410 has been made. And landing fees is $32.98 simply because we're already paying the yearly fee there. So $32.98 is a landing fee, which is pretty good. So coming back to our original airport would benefit us quite a bit, especially when it comes to landing fee. And personal info. Um, Flight log, we can take a look at it. 1 hour and 26 minutes is a total flight time, and now we have a complete flight done over here. And the next load that I'm gonna do is since that is done, let's take a look at it and see a high price load here. This is a long flight, Santa Maria, but $11,000, 11,300. That's too less. This is a really good load. This is an amazing load. I think I'm going to do this one. So 1221 is something that we can fit into our aircraft. Pays us $15,262, 68 nautical miles. Oh, that's perfect. Actually, I didn't even accept it. There we go. Alright guys, so I will see you guys on my next video. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. See you guys on my next one. See you guys.